Hey there, so today we have another review and I'm really excited for this one. This one is from Offshoot Beer Company. They're a side project of The Brewery, famous for their Belgian and barrel-aged beers. And this is finally their canned IPA project. And this is a really exciting one. First off, the design on this is really cool with the sunglasses and all. This is the #2 rated beer on Draft Magazine's best IPAs. They rated almost 400 IPAs and this came in at #2. But it is a highly controversial beer because a lot of people have actually thought that that beer was absolutely insane to be on the list that high. This beer on Untappd right now has a 3.68, which if you don't use Untappd is a relatively mediocre rating. In my range of rating beers, that would probably be in the 70s. So it's actually pretty low. Talking about this beer, it's a 6.5% IPA brewed with Citra, Eldorado, Mandarina Bavaria, Malter Turo, pale wheat malt, rolled oats, and then SO4 for the yeast. So interesting stuff. Cephale 04. So yeah, really excited for this one. Do we agree with the critics on Draft Mag, the experts, the Cicerones, and the BHACP judges, or do we agree with Untappd? We'll see. Beer is absolutely gorgeous. Comes in a light gold color, wonderful head on there. Definitely, I guess the oats and wheat malt definitely promoting that beautiful colloidal head. But yeah, looks absolutely gorgeous. Not completely opaque, just a medium plus haze. Let's get the aroma on this one. By the way, this can is a little bit older. I will give it that. It's been about, this was actually their first release. So this is about, I want to say 7 weeks? 9 weeks? 9 weeks? Something like that. Cheers. I definitely see what the Draft Mag was saying. There's this wonderful grass and cantaloupe. They really have good tasting notes on that website. Yeah, just like light, hoppy, nothing too explosive. Cheers. That's good. What's wrong, people? That ain't a 3.68. That's really nice. 6.5%. Wow. I could definitely even, or probably taste a little bit of water treatment on here. Tasting a little bit of salinity and minerality driving on the back end, but it tastes really well constructed. It's not your most explosive IPA. I definitely don't think it's #2 for Draft Mag, at least. I mean, there's no way this beer is even in the realm of those explosive beers like Conga Street or Julius. I'm not giving it that kind of rating, but it's well made. On the palate, drive with a little bit of lemon zest in there, maybe some of that green honeydew and that like rind of the cantaloupe driving in a little bit more, maybe a little bit of grassiness. There's a nice bitterness that drives down a little bit more. What Draft Mag called it was a little bit like this pastry dough kind of flavor there. And that pale malt definitely comes through with maybe a little bit of the wheat and the oats driving in there as well, keeping the beer really nice and fluffy. In there, you'll also maybe taste a little bit of this yeast ester driving in with a little bit of dancing fruitiness that's sitting on the palate. It's really nice. Yeah, it's great beer. I don't see what people have issues with. And actually, with this amount of age, it's actually standing up very well. It's a beautiful Crusher IPA. I can definitely see where the critics like it. It's just well made throughout. It doesn't blow your mind of like, holy smokes, this really tastes like a smoothie in a glass, but it's well constructed IPA. If you want to think of a beer that maybe I can sort of get reminders of, think of something like Interborough Premier, first batch Interborough Premier, or even the more recent batches. Just a really light, delectable beer at 6.5% IPA range, but still drinking in that kind of pale ale kind of palate feel. Absolutely delicious. I'm liking this beer. As for rating, great stuff. Wow, really good, really good. This is a crusher. This for me is getting a I'm really liking how like just well made. The bitterness really comes in really nice and slow. The malts really are very light and fluffy on the palate. The hops are just dancing around, not pushing too much on those like aggressive tropical fruity notes that you'd expect, like a mango and passion fruit and all that stuff. It really has something a little bit different, leaning towards a little bit of melon and citrus peel kind of flavor. So I'm gonna give this beer a 96 minus. 96 minus, fashionably late. So where do I sit in the ratings of this? I definitely sit in the middle between the critics and the untapped or the masses. It definitely is not a 368. That's a terrible rating. That's like in the 70s. It's not remotely close to that. Nor is it as high as the second best IPA on that list, because there's no way it's in that range. A lot of those beers are in the A+, 99 Hunnits range. This gets a 96 minus from me, so I'm like in the middle, I'd say. Probably leaning towards a little bit what the critics say, but absolutely amazing beer. Thank you so much, Matt. I'm surprised people don't like this beer because it is really good. Until next time, guys, cheers. Can't wait to try more stuff from Offshoot. Cheers. Later.